published 0747 Est, 16 November 2017, updated 1528 Est, 16 November 2017. Pictured Gaia Pope was last seen on Tuesday, November 7 in Swanage. The father of a third suspect arrested on suspicion of murdering Gaia Pope has tonight insisted his son is innocent, hours after police discovered a pile of clothes feared to belong to the missing teenager. Greg Elsey confirmed to Mail Online that his son Paul was taken into custody today after he attended Poole police station accompanied by a solicitor. Speaking outside his home, the 69-year-old said, "My son is 110% innocent. You would not believe what has gone on. You will be gobsmacked as how the police have performed. Absolutely disgusting." Officers cordoned off an isolated area close to 70 feet Dorset Cliffs and a quarry earlier today after a walker found a pile of clothes but no body has been found. Student Gaia Pope, 19, was last seen in Swanage 9 days ago with Mr. Elsey's ex-wife Rosemary Dinch, who is believed to be the last person to see her. Both Ms. Dinch and her 19-year-old grandson Nathan were arrested on suspicion of murder but later released earlier this week. Tonight Mr. Elsey has protested his son's innocence and said the public would be gobsmacked by how the police have behaved. Mr. Elsey said he met with Paul at a friend's house in Southampton and later met with a solicitor before driving to Poole police station. His 49-year-old son had not been seen since Tuesday with his car, a VW Golf, seized by detectives for forensic examination. Mr. Elsey said, "You will be disgusted when you find out what has happened." Elsey, who is single, is being held in custody. His father said at the time of his arrest he was unaware that items of clothing had been found close to the cliff edge in Swanage. Mr. Elsey had maintained that his son had a cast-iron alibi at the time Pope went missing after calling at his ex-wife's home in a distressed state. He said his son offered then his mobile phone and bank card to prove that he was in Weymouth working around the time the teen went missing. Asked if police did not believe his son's alibi, he said, "Why did they not accept his offer of his iPhone a week ago to prove where he was?" Police are bagging up items in a field as the Gaia Pope investigation took another turn 9 days after she was last seen. Forensic officers at work on a stretch of coastline near Swanage, around a mile from her family home and another mile from where she was last seen last Tuesday. They appear to have found at least 6 items of evidence. Paul, a carpenter, was missing for 48 hours after leaving the Elsey family home in Romsey, Hampshire. His VW Golf car was taken away for forensic examination and the home he shared with his parents also subject to a search warrant. His 71-year-old grandmother Rosemary and 19-year-old nephew Nathan are also staying at a friend's as their bungalow in Swanage is a crime scene. Mr. Elsey added he was devastated for the Pope family following the discovery of clothing. Detective Superintendent Paul Kessel, of Dorset Police, said this afternoon, "We have arrested a 49-year-old man on suspicion of murder. He is believed to be known to Gaia and from the Swanage area." Also today, a member of the public identified clothing south of Priestley Road in Swanage similar to that worn by Gaia. Dorset Police have taped off a field along a perilous stretch of coast known as Dancing Ledge around a mile from her family home in Langton Matravers, a village just outside Swanage. The clothes were discovered at 10:28 a.m. on an area of open land north of the coastal path. The owner of the clothes has not been identified but Miss Pope's family have been informed, Dorset Police said. The clothes discovery was made today by a member of the public in an area of open land close to a pathway that runs up to 200 meters inland from the 70 feet cliffs and around a mile from where she was last seen in Swanage. Forensics officers were seen photographing and bagging up clothes feared to be Gaia's. She was wearing grey and white woven leggings, white trainers and a red checked shirt with white buttons when she vanished. Teams have also been scouring woodland and dredging ponds in a desperate bid to find her after she disappeared on Tuesday, November 7. The discovery of Gaia's clothes came hours after her father Richard broke down in tears on TV as he said his family were distraught but remain hopeful they will find her alive. She also who has severe epilepsy and PTSD after a traumatic incident 2 years ago where she was assaulted by some guys, he said. The business development manager emotionally told ITV News, "Gaia, you know we love you, you know that. I just want that big hug, please. I just want a big hug. We'll get you back and we'll have that big hug. A member of the public has found a pile of clothes feared to belong to the missing teenager in a field near cliffs and a quarry. Gaia's friend, 19-year-old actor Nathan Elsey, and his grandmother Rosemary Dinch, 71, were arrested on suspicion of murder on Monday but were released pending further inquiries 24 hours later. Nathan is pictured here with his grandfather Greg Elsey. Dames Dinch, 71, was held hours after she was interviewed on local TV where she admitted to being the last person to see Gaia and said they shared a cuddle and she left the 19-year-old, who was staying with an aunt at an address in Swanage when she disappeared, has not been seen since the afternoon of November 7 when she was seen running down the road in a distressed state. Dorset police yesterday released CCTV of Gaia buying an ice cream at a petrol station between Langton Matravers and Swanage at around 2:55 p.m. on November 7, an hour before she was last seen alive in Manor Gardens where she pounded on Rosemary Dinch's front door. The clothes discovery was made today by a member of the public in an area of open land close to a pathway that runs up to 200 meters inland from the 70-foot cliffs. Police said today the clothes feared to belong to Gaia were found about 200 meters inland from the high cliffs between Dancing Ledge and Anvil Point south of Swanage. Detective Superintendent Paul Kessel, of Dorset Police, Pictured Today, says they have not found anybody but do not believe that Gaia has left the Swanage area as they made a third arrest. Detective Superintendent Paul Kessel said, "My thoughts are with the family who are going through an incredibly distressing time. Clearly the family are deeply concerned and they are living through an experience which we would all find extremely challenging. We will continue to support them. We will not stop until we find Gaia." We would like to thank the public of Swanage and the local community who have been incredibly supportive and understanding of the police investigation into her disappearance, and for their efforts to try and find Gaia. It's our responsibility to investigate every avenue of inquiry and to investigate if she has come to harm through an act of crime. There are a number of searches ongoing and these will continue for some time. We have got no reason to believe Gaia has left the Swanage area. We have not located Gaia and we will continue to conduct extensive searches of the area over the next few days. I would continue to ask the public if they have seen anything suspicious or had any contact with Gaia since she has gone missing to contact Dorset Police. Asked why the suspect has been arrested on suspicion of murder, Detective Superintendent Kessel said, "As you would expect, we have been conducting this inquiry for 2 weeks and it is our responsibility to investigate every avenue of inquiry that's open to us. In doing that, we continue to investigate whether Gaia has come to harm through an act of crime or whether she is missing and we will continue to do so." He appealed directly to the public to come forward if they have any information or have had any contact with Gaia since she went missing. Her distraught mother, Natasha Pope, yesterday posted on Facebook her fears that Gaia had been kidnapped and was being held against her will in the back of a van, garage or somewhere. Her father Richard told ITV News Gaia was very upset. She suffered a trauma a couple of years ago. She was involved in a situation where some guys assaulted her. This had a really devastating effect on her. I think this had been coming back into her head. She was scared. I think her head, with the epilepsy which messes with her head anyway, she gets confused, she has memory loss. A combination of different things, SHES just had gets emotional. The father of the missing teenager, Richard Sutherland, broke down, said his family has been left distraught by Gaia's disappearance but they remain hopeful they will find her alive. Officers have been photographing and bagging up evidence close to high walls but police have not found Gaia. A large number of police vehicles, including some containing specialist search equipment, arrived at the cliff top at around 3 p.m. Swanage on the south coast is surrounded by high cliffs and focus of the hunt for Gaia is now focused on a short stretch due south of her parents' home. A map shows the timeline of events we know about so far before Gaia Pope disappeared, and the properties that have been searched in the hunt for her. She was spotted at a petrol station near Swanage at 2:55 p.m. buying an ice cream, having been driven there by a member of her family. She was then seen on CCTV sprinting along Morrison Road in Swanage, last spotted banging on Rosemary Dink's door in Manor Gardens. Rosemary Dink and her aspiring actor grandson Nathan, who appeared in the summer blockbuster Dunkirk, live at the property with her son Paul Elsey. Since their release from custody on Tuesday, the pair have been staying at her ex-husband Greg Elsey's home in Romsey, Hampshire. Gaia Pope's father, Richard Sutherland, spoke to ITV News Today about his daughter's disappearance and the family's hope to find her alive. He said, "I'm doing my best not to speculate because there are just so many different scenarios that you can tie yourself in not thinking about that. It's not so much what's happened to her as finding her, regardless of the circumstances. Finding her alive is what we want to do." He said of her epilepsy, "It's so severe that the doctor's letter says she's now at risk of sudden death from epilepsy, so it's no minor thing for sure. She's at risk." He added Gaia was very upset. She suffered a trauma a couple of years ago. She was involved in a situation where some guys assaulted her. This had a really devastating effect on her. I think this had been coming back into her head. She was scared. I think her head, with the epilepsy which messes with her head anyway, she gets confused, she has memory loss. A combination of different things. She's just gets emotional. I think there was some Facebook interaction which may have triggered back memories of the previous issue, but now is not the time to go into those details. But she is obviously very distressed, very vulnerable. We've just got to get her back. We love her. We all love her. We want her back. We will get to her back. She's vulnerable, but she's also strong. She's a great girl. She's got a big spirit, and I think of that. She's a feisty character, a real feisty character, but she cares deeply about people. She wanted to be a nurse or a midwife or a social care person. She recognizes other people suffering. She's a real deep-down, decent person who has had some really tough times. Greg said police had obtained a warrant to search his £460,000 bungalow in the hunt for his and Rosemary's son Paul. He revealed officers had also seized Paul's car for forensic examination, but said he had not seen or heard from his son since he left the bungalow with a friend on Tuesday afternoon. Mr. Elsey married Mrs. Dink in 1966. They had 2 children, Paul and Debbie, before divorcing. He said Debbie and her son Nathan had been very close to Gaia and her twin sister Maya when Nathan was growing up. But the teenagers fell out recently after Nathan broke up with his ex-girlfriend. According to Greg Elsey, Paul, who left his mobile phone at his father's address, claims he was carrying out work on a flat he owns in Weymouth, Dorset. On the day of Gaia's disappearance last week, Greg told Mail Online he will personally drive around the area and carry out his own search for his son, who has not been seen for over 48 hours. The 69-year-old told Mail Online, "I have to take my daughter Debbie to the doctors, and when I get back I'm going out looking for Paul. I called the police at 8 a.m. this morning to talk with them, and they have not bothered to call me back. They're useless." Mr. Elsey has also spoken out against the decision to arrest his ex-wife on suspicion of murder, saying she was terminally ill and needed oxygen to get around. He insisted she could not murder a chicken. Greg Elsey believes his family is being wrongly targeted by police in their investigation over the missing 19-year-old. He said his son Paul barely knew Gaia and they were not friends, adding, "Paul will come forward and I will make sure he has a solicitor. I will organize that." Greg said his single son enjoys taking winter skiing holidays, is not active on social media but likes to go out drinking with his friends. As a carpenter, he works on church restorations, but on the day Gaia went missing was working alone in Weymouth, according to his father. While Paul appears to have made no effort to contact his family or police since Tuesday, his father said the experience of his nephew being locked up could have put him off from coming forward. When they arrested Nathan, Dorset police kept a 19-year-old boy who has never been in trouble in his life in a cell for 24 hours. Even Gaia's family said he would not hurt a fly. He was asked a dozen questions. They could have done it in a few hours. Mr. Elsey said reports suggesting his grandson and Gaia were close are false. They had known each other since they were 6, but about a year ago they had a big falling out and have not spoken to each other. She was not round there every week. His current girlfriend looks vaguely like Gaia, and that is why the neighbors are confused. Greg said he has every sympathy with the Pope family and is desperate for the teenager to be found. Their life has been turned upside down. I feel terribly sad for their family, but it has also affected my family. It is a hell of a strain. Dorset police have released new CCTV of missing 19-year-old Gaia Pope pictured before she disappeared in Swanage on November 7. She is seen buying an ice cream at a petrol station in Valley Road between Langton Matravers and Swanage at around 2:55 p.m. A VW Golf outside their home Paul Elsey shares with his mother in Swanage. He has not been seen for several days and police are said to be searching for him. Paul Elsey's father Greg Elsey told Mail Online he will personally drive around the area and carry out his own search for his son, who has not been seen for over 48 hours. The 19-year-old's family maintains she is alive and have thanked members of the public for their support, as the hunt for Gaia continues. Gaia is pictured right and far left with her twin sister. Officers from Devon and Cornwall diving team searching a pond near the house in Swanage where the teenager was last seen. Dorset police would not confirm if they had a warrant out to arrest Paul Elsey, nor their decision to take away his car. Pictured officers scouring a nearby lake for clues. Dorset police have refused to comment on the decision to take away Paul Elsey's VW Golf car for forensic examination. Forensic investigators have been spotted removing parts of piping and toilet fixtures from Mrs. Dink's home in Manor Gardens, the last place Gaia was seen before disappearing. According to his father, Paul has been quizzed by police but has not been seen since Tuesday evening, when his father said he was picked up by a pal and probably had a few beers. Greg said his son left behind his mobile phone and has been uncontactable, but offered the police proof that he was in Weymouth, Dorset, when Gaia went missing on November 7. Dorset police would not confirm if they had a warrant out to arrest Paul, who had been estranged from his father for 3 years until the arrests brought them back together. The carpenter shares a first-floor flat with his mother Mrs. Dinch in Swanage, where Gaia was last spotted when she visited last week. Mr. Elsey told the Mail last week, the police spoke to Paul and asked him where he was when Gaia went missing. He turned around to them and said, "There's my iPhone, there's my bank card, I bought some stuff down in Weymouth last Tuesday. You can take it, and do you want to check my car? They didn't want to." Then suddenly last night, Dorset police turned up with a search warrant and then took the car away in a covered wagon. He added, "I don't know where he is, he went off with one of his mates on Tuesday afternoon. He's got no mobile phone. He left it because he has no charger for it. Would you want to be banged up for 24 hours like Nathan?" Gaia left pictured with her mother Natasha center left, sister Claire center right, and her twin sister Maya right. Pictured Greg Elsey's home in Romsey, Hampshire. Mr. Elsey claims his ex-wife received a visit from Gaia out of the blue on Tuesday last week. He said Rosemary is on her own at home and Nathan didn't have college on the Tuesday, so he was at home too. At 3 p.m., Rosemary hears bang, bang, bang on the front door. She goes down and sees Gaia crying her eyes out, screaming, talking all sorts of broken biscuits. She says, "Come on up, Gaia," trying to calm her down. She called Rosemary Nana, they were ever so close. Rosemary has taken her upstairs and taken her top off and said I'm red hot. Rosemary won't tell anybody what Gaia was saying. She doesn't think it's right because the girl was in a neurotic state. She then turned around and said she was going to see a girl she went to school with. Rosemary made her put her top back on, but she wouldn't take a coat with her. Criticizing the police's arrest of his ex-wife, who suffers from lung condition emphysema, Mr. Elsey added She's terminally ill, She's 71 years old, and the police took her away on suspected murder. They're a load of bumbling like something out of Hot Fuzz. Her mother Natasha, an actress who has starred in The Bill and Inspector Morse, posted on Facebook pictured today saying back of vans, in garages somewhere she could be hidden, against her will. In a house, keep looking, be bold with respect. The Bill and Inspector Morse actress thanked people for their help in trying to find her daughter, who has been missing since last week. Speaking at his home earlier today, 69-year-old Greg Elsey told Mail Online police had contacted his son Paul, a carpenter, last week, and he offered to provide officers with his phone and bank card, showing he was away from home working in Weymouth, Dorset, at the time of Gaia's disappearance. He said police officers turned up at his home yesterday looking to speak to Paul, who had been staying there, but had left with a friend. He said Paul went off with one of his mates. "I don't know where he is." The police asked where Paul was and I said he was not here. They came in and had a look everywhere so they could see Paul was not here. Mr. Elsey lives with his mother in Manor Gardens, but occasionally stays with his father, who is separated from Rosemary Dinch. Today, forensic investigators have been spotted removing parts of piping and toilet fixtures from Mrs. Dink's home in Manor Gardens, the last place Gaia was seen before disappearing. Police teams have also been seen wading through a nearby mill pond in Swanage looking for clues that could trace her. Dorset Police's senior investigating officer Neil Devoto said, "We believe Gaia was wearing the same grey and white woven leggings and white trainers, but was last seen in a red checked shirt with white buttons." Police teams pictured wading through a nearby mill pond in Swanage, where Gaia Pope disappeared 9 days ago. Forensic investigators are pictured carrying equipment to scour the home of Rosemary Dinch, 71, in Manor Gardens, Swanage. The cousin of missing teen Gaia Pope has said the family still believe she is still alive. Mariana Pope Wiedemann said the family are devastated by her disappearance but have not given up hope the 19-year-old will be found. The 26-year-old said the whole family has been given no reason to believe anything other than that she is alive. Speaking to Meridian TV, Mariana said the CCTV footage of Gaia running from the address where she was last seen alive was frightening for the family. She said it was just an ordinary day, then she disappeared. "It's frightening looking at the CCTV because we don't know what the story is. We just know she is alive." Mariana said the family were left shocked and confused by the arrest of 19-year-old film extra Nathan Elsey, as he was considered a friend of the teen. He was arrested on suspicion of murder with his 71-year-old grandmother Rosemary Dinch, but later released by police. Nathan and Gaia were friends. They went to school together. "I can't believe he has any reason to hurt her," said Mariana. "I believe she is out there. She is just waiting for us to find her." Gaia's mum and dad are devastated. There are no words for what they are going through. "The community has been absolutely incredible and we are so profoundly grateful for what everybody is doing, and we ask them to keep going." In an emotional message to her cousin, Marielena begged her to get in contact. "We just want to know you are safe," she said. "You are deeply, deeply loved by us. Gaia baby, you are not in any trouble. Nobody is angry with you. We just want to know you are all right. We are not going to stop looking until we find you. We want to bring our girl home." Police today released new CCTV footage of Gaia after she stopped to buy an ice cream at the petrol station in Valley Road, Swanage. The family's optimism that Gaia will be found alive is in contrast to that of the police, who have said they believe she has come to harm. Police teams scoured the local area, including searching in Swanage, but have been unable to locate the missing girl. When she disappeared, she was not wearing the black jacket pictured, which was recovered at an address in Manor Gardens. "Our search efforts are continuing, and I would again appeal to the public that if they have any information, however small, that could lead us to finding Gaia, please get in touch. Finally, I would like to offer my thoughts to Gaia's family and friends in what is an incredibly difficult time for them. It has been over a week since she went missing and we are doing all we can in order to find her." An hour after the first message, Gaia's mother posted deepest gratitude and thanks. "Desperation accumulative. We all need Gaia back so she can follow through on her life plan. Her talents across the board. Society stands to gain massively by getting her back. Gaia is dynamic, fun, exceptionally intelligent, compassionate and loving. Gaia is special indeed, so we best crack on, discover the truth of things so we may bring her home very soon. After the elderly grandmother was released by police, her first husband Greg Elsey revealed she is terminally ill and has to carry an oxygen canister, coming to her defense to say she couldn't even murder a chicken. The mother of missing teenager Gaia Pope pictured right, Natasha Left, launched a Facebook appeal desperately urging people to check their garages and vans because she could be held prisoner there. Pictured forensic investigators pictured combing the 71-year-old home on Tuesday where the teenager was last seen. MRLC slammed the police investigation, telling Mail Online they should be ashamed of the way they have conducted themselves. He added that Nathan was petrified at having been arrested and held by police for 24 hours. He claimed he is very popular at school and a lovely lad who would NT her to fly, adding Nathan is severely dyslexic, but he comes across as articulate. He's a young lad and he is petrified. He has never been in trouble before. Mr. Elsey also said he believes Gaia might have been distressed because of the release of someone convicted of assault several years ago. He said Mrs. Dinch phoned her daughter, Debbie, who was able to get in touch with Gaia's mother, to tell her they were worried. He added Rosemary and Nathan gave the police all of the information. This has gone on for nearly a week. It took them a week to arrest them. Reporting Mrs. Ding's account of the incident, ex-husband Greg Elsey said the teenager started taking off her clothes, saying she was too hot. He told The Sun Gaia went in and stripped off the top half of her clothes down to her bra. Rosemary was really concerned and managed to persuade her to put her clothes back on, but she left without her coat. She said she needed to go and find one of her old school friends. Neighbors said they heard Mrs. Dinch and Gaia having an altercation on the day she went missing. Mrs. Dinch appeared on television on Monday describing how the upset teenager pounded on her door, saying, "Help me." Gaia's cousin Mariana Pope Wideman says the community effort to help find the 19-year-old has been overwhelming. She is pictured today overlooking Swanage Bay in Dorset. She told the BBC there was a sort of "help me" bang, pounding. She didn't have an epileptic seizure, I'm quite sure. I have no idea where she is. She just seems to have disappeared. Meanwhile, Gaia's cousin Mariana Pope Wideman says the community effort to help find the teenager has been completely overwhelming. The family of Gaia Pope released a statement on Tuesday, urging anyone with information to get in touch. They said, "We want to express our deepest gratitude to the police, other emergency services and the huge numbers of volunteers and well-wishers. The massive effort to find Gaia has been great comfort in what everyone will understand is a deeply worrying and scary experience for all who love Gaia so deeply. We understand that the police continue to investigate all possible scenarios, and we want to emphasize that the search for Gaia continues. We will be releasing information on the Find Gaia Facebook page regarding further volunteer search support. Please understand that we want to keep social media to constructive and positive efforts to find Gaia and not to encourage uninformed speculation which can have a negative impact on the family and be a distraction. Please keep an eye out for requests for further search support. We are aware of the arrests that have taken place but want to emphasize that these must not put a stop to the search until or unless there is a definite conclusion. If anyone knows where Gaia is, we beg you to let us know. To Gaia, we all love you forever. We miss you beyond words. We will find you, darling girl. The thought of seeing the sunshine of your smile again soon keeps us all going and hoping. She told the BBC, "We want to come together as a family and as a community and get out looking for her," she said. "Everyone is giving 150%. All I can say is please, please, please don't stop looking. We know she is out there. We know she's alive. We're going to bring our girl home." Gaia's aunt Talia Pope, 59, has told Mail Online there is still no evidence to prove she is dead and police have not found a body. She said, "We are just searching until we find her. The search is continuing for my niece. It's ongoing at the moment. It's inconclusive, but we are just searching until we find her." "We've got a long way to go yet." In an emotional statement released via Dorset Police yesterday afternoon, the Pope family said they missed Gaia beyond words and begged anyone with information to come forward. They said the search to find her would not be stopped until they found a definite conclusion. Mrs. Dinch sobbed as she told how a very upset Gaia had pounded on her door a week ago but had left again after they shared a hug. "I'm pleased because I gave her a cuddle. Of course I want her found. I have no idea where she is. She just seems to have disappeared," she told BBC South. Her grandson Nathan is an aspiring actor and drama student who appeared as an extra alongside Harry Styles in Christopher Nolan's epic Dunkirk and said on his casting website that the experience gave me more determination than ever to fulfill my dream of becoming an actor. Neighbors said they saw police leading the grandmother and her grandson away from the house on Monday evening and allegedly heard shouting and screaming from Mrs. Dink's flat on the day Gaia disappeared. Officers are still guarding the property today and a team of forensics experts, including some with sniffer dogs, are inside. One policeman carried out a large brown package hidden in an evidence bag this afternoon. 2 days before her disappearance, Gaia posted a message on Instagram that said she was worried about being shut up and put in a cell with the hashtag #UalaSue, and one follower urged her to run somewhere safe, Mail Online revealed earlier this week. Police will be investigating the possibility she is hiding, and Dorset Police's Detective Paul Kessler said today the force remains hopeful she is still alive and somewhere in the Swanage area, although he also admitted she may have come to harm. A neighbour who witnessed the arrests last night said Mrs. Dinch has emphysema and uses a trolley to walk. "I saw police officers escort her to the car. She wasn't in handcuffs. I saw Nathan being led to the car and his hands were behind his back and there were police officers on either side escorting him. We saw them both being taken away. The whole place has been crawling with police all week. We didn't know at the time, but we have been told since that Gaia was living there." Gaia left with Russell Brand and Wright on social media as epileptic, and also badly affected by a traumatic incident 2 years ago. Her family said 2 days before her disappearance she posted a desperate message on Instagram suggesting she feared for her safety and used the hashtag #UalaSue. Natasha Pope, the mother of missing teenager Gaia Pope, pictured with Jeremy Corbyn, is an actress who appeared in ITV's police drama The Bill and Inspector Morse. Nathan lives in a flat behind his grandmother's flat with his mother, Debbie. Neighbor Jack Good, 25, said there had been reports of shouting and screaming from Mrs. Dink's flat on the day Gaia disappeared. Mr. Good said the neighbor who lives below told me they heard shouting and screaming on the day it happened. Gaia pictured is from nearby Langton Matravers but had recently been staying with an aunt in Swanage, a few streets away from the home of Nathan Elsie at Woodveby not long before she went missing. Debbie, Nathan's mum, went over and apologized to them disturbing them. He added that Gaia appeared to be good friends with Elsie. He said, "I saw Gaia, I think she was good friends with Nathan. I probably saw her walking to his flat with him twice a week before she disappeared. They spent a lot of time together." Mr. Good's partner Marta Wren, a 30-year-old healthcare assistant, saw police taking Nathan Elsie away in handcuffs and said his uncle was shouting, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." Gaia is from nearby Langton Matravers but had recently been staying with an aunt in Swanage, a few streets away from the home of Nathan Elsie. Neighbors there said Gaia had visited Nathan's flat 2 or 3 times a week before she disappeared, but weren't sure if they were a couple of close friends. A police officer was today stood outside the home of Gaia's mother, Natasha Pope, in Langton Matravers, a village just outside Swanage, and said the family did not wish to speak. A female relative of Emily Brylick, a close friend of Nathan's, said, "I have heard about the arrest, I just don't believe it. He is a very quiet young man. I have known Nathan for quite a while and he is good friends with my granddaughter. They go to the same college. He comes here and I take her to his house. He is a very gentle young man who doesn't go out. I just don't believe it." Nathan Elsie, who was arrested on Monday, has since been released pending investigation. Gaia is thought to have been staying with his family or visiting regularly before she vanished. Last sighting Gaia was recorded on CCTV running up Manor Gardens in Swanage at 4 p.m. on November 7. Detective Paul Kessler said the force believes Gaia has come to serious harm after 3 arrests have been made this week in the search to find her. Gaia was epileptic, and there are fears she may have suffered a seizure. She was also badly affected by a traumatic incident 2 years ago, her family has said. Police, the Coast Guard, and hundreds of members of the public have been searching for Gaia on cliffs, woods, nature reserves and beaches after her disappearance. Gaia's pictured family have been left distraught by her disappearance, especially because of her epilepsy. Search warrants have been secured for 2 addresses in Swanage, and forensic officers are carrying out fingertip searches of them for clues. Senior Investigating Officer Neil Devoto, of Dorset Police's Major Crime Investigation Team, said it has been almost a week since Gaia's last confirmed sighting and she has not been seen or heard from since. We have looked through CCTV that covers the Swanage area, including transport hubs, and there is nothing to suggest she has left the area. Her disappearance is completely out of character and, following our extensive inquiries, we sadly now believe that she may have come to harm. We have not yet found Gaia and our searches will continue. I would appeal to anyone who has information about her disappearance to please contact Dorset Police. Our specially trained officers have updated Gaia's family and are supporting them at this very difficult time. Gaia's family have been left distraught by her disappearance, especially because of her epilepsy. Speaking about her missing cousin, Mariana Pope Wideman told the Bournemouth Daily Echo, "This is a waking nightmare for Gaia's family, but we are so grateful to our community, the volunteer Coast Guard and all the people who've been out searching for her. There's a lot of ground to cover, so anyone please help us get the word out." She added, "Gaia, if you hear this, we love you with all our hearts." Police, family, friends and worried residents of Swanage have been searching all the areas Gaia Pictured is known to frequent. In the area Pictured, 19-year-old Nathan Elsey was arrested on suspicion of murder but later released by Dorset Police under investigation. Her older sister Clara Pope Sutherland, 21, told the Daily Echo on Tuesday evening, "We just want her to come home." Students at the college where Nathan Elsey studies acting today said he is a really good actor who hopes to make a career out of it. Pupils at Brockenhurst College in the heart of the New Forest, Hampshire, described the budding actor, who has been arrested on suspicion of murder, as one of the nice guys. They also said the 19-year-old would have known Gaia Pope through the college and added that he has a girlfriend who studies there as well. One student, who didn't wish to be named, said she knows Gaia's twin sister and said it's awful for the family. She said, "I know him, he lives in Swanage. He's got a girlfriend who goes to this college. I don't know her name though. I'm not sure how he knows Gaia. The only way he would know her is through college. It's awful for her family. I'm friends with her twin sister but I haven't spoken to her because I just don't know what to say." One pupil, who also didn't wish to be named, said, "I used to get the train with him. He's a really lovely guy and just so nice. You could have a nice conversation with him. He's a really great actor. He does level 3 I think, so he's really good. He's hoping to make a career out of it." A male student added, "I've seen him around college a bit and spoken to him a few times. He's one of the nice guys. I would be pretty surprised if He's got anything to do with it, to be honest. She's a home bird. She would never do anything like this. She's just not the kind of person to go off like this. She'd always let us know what was happening. That's the most concerning thing of all. We're so worried and we just want to know she's safe." The last reported sighting of Gaia was at an address in Manor Gardens on Morrison Road of Swanage. She was said to be wearing a red checked shirt with white buttons, grey and white woven leggings and white trainers. Gaia is 5 feet 7 inches tall, medium build and has long mousy blonde hair. Hundreds of people from the town also joined the search, with an appeal shared widely on social media in attempts to find Gaia. Comedian Russell Brand, who has more than 12 million followers on Twitter, retweeted a poster with information about the appeal. Speaking about the disappearance, Gaia's sister Mariana Pope described the situation as a waking nightmare. Her mother Natasha said on Facebook, "Full-scale alert, my daughter Gaia Pope Sutherland is missing. Vulnerable. Helicopter out. Scale search, they say. Do your best for us people, find her, knock on doors." Last week, Miss Pope's family issued a statement urging her to get in contact. They said, "We are all frantic with worry, Gaia, and are desperate to know you are okay. You are not in any trouble, and we just want to know you are somewhere safe. Please get in touch with someone to let us know where you are so we can help you." Gaia's older sister, Clara, 21, revealed that Gaia went missing without a coat on and while en route to see a doctor with her and her aunt. She revealed that Clara had been suffering from severe anxiety. She said, "In dire need of help, sister missing. There is a on police search for my sister Gaia in Swanage. On the way out to get a referral from the GP with my aunt, she walked out the house with no phone or means of contact at around 5 p.m. Gaia suffers from increasingly severe epilepsy. We have no idea if she has her medication with her and post-traumatic stress disorder. She is currently going through a period of extreme worry PTSD episode. As you can probably imagine, she is very vulnerable. I'm hoping that she'll show up after being sat somewhere and say I was just chilling out and taking some me time. But after a night of no one having any contact from her, it's safe to say I'm feeling sick to my stomach. So this is a call to arms, please, if you can. Swanage, Dorset. People with cars. I need to find my sister." Gaia Pope's pictured bereft family have described the situation since she vanished on November 7 as a walking nightmare. Sorry, we are not currently accepting comments on this article.